What is going on, beautiful people out there on the internet? We are back with another update for you on a brand new Flat World. We've got a couple of additions, a bunch of bug fixes, and a decent amount of changes coming after the animation update, which is 1.0.3. And that one actually added a decent amount of bugs. My bad. But we should have gotten a decent amount of those fixed. The ones that weren't fixed in this update probably won't be fixed for a while, at least the ones I know about right now, because I've been working on them, can't be able to fix them. I've got some of them that I think I might be able to get done soon, but we shall see. Anyways, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's hop right to it. First up, we got ourselves a new achievement or advancement for planting the spud bomb. As you can see there in the text, it says spadow. And now if you plant this thing, there we go. Okay, that makes more sense. The patch notes, I think, oh no, it does say indeed detonate a spud bomb. I thought it said plant a spud bomb. That's my bad. But anyways, as you can see, that's a brand new achievement, spadow, detonate a spud bomb. And I believe it is in, yes, the adventure category. All the way up here. Some more advancements that we have with the random things is the smoke bombs. When I throw this, you get the now you see me advancement. And if I hit another entity with the smoke bomb, you get now you don't. So because when you hit them with the smoke bomb itself, it actually gives them blindness. It's better than just the particle. So you see, use the smoke bomb, hit another entity with a smoke bomb, and I believe those are also part of the adventure category. Yes, right here. Okay, boom. Next up is something kind of small, but I noticed we didn't have a redstone pressure plate, so I went ahead and added a redstone pressure plate that works just like all the other pressure plates. Now I know that this is kind of confusing here because you're looking at these two and you're like, those look exactly the same, right? Like, this is the same thing. What did you add? It's all pressure plates are redstone, right? No, it's red stone. You see, it's red. It's different. Trust me. So we are down here in the mines for our last added item, which is, of course, the rubies, as you can see right there behind me. Now, don't get these bad boys confused with redstone. So it does look pretty similar. This texture probably isn't final because it's the first time I'm seeing it in the caves. I'm not a fan. I also noticed that I used the top and bottom texture, this one right here, not the side texture, so that's the reason it looks slightly off. But if we come over here, we've actually got... plenty of ruby things. We have a full set of armor, the ruby itself, blocks of ruby, which yeah, I like that. That's kind of nice. I was not a fan of this when I drew it, but I like that. And then, of course, all the ruby tools. These are actually diamond equivalent. Rubies and diamonds, pretty much the same thing. So we now have what will hopefully be pretty much our last ore, because it's getting to be a little obnoxious. I've got a ton of them all over the place. But I just felt like these belonged. I felt like they should be there. I felt like diamonds needed a partner, because after all, we have titanium and platinum at this tier, but those are metals. Where's the gems? So we should have at least 2 gems. I think diamonds and rubies, you know, especially with rubies being red, it just works very well. Moving right along to all the changes, I'm tweaked the fertilized dirt recipe a bit, so you can no longer use mud, muddy mangrove roots, podzol, or mycelium, or there might be a few other things in here, but I think you can still use moss. You should still be able to hang on. So it's like, hey, what? Did I break it? I may have broken the recipe. All right, here we go. So that will be a bug that is in the new update, but I had the wrong tag. But I went ahead and switched that around. This should be shapeless, so you should be able to put this in here however you want. And if you just want to do like 1 stack of each, that'll also work, and it's just completely shapeless. But that'll work in the next update. If the crafting's not working, it's always a tag. Hamster food is now compostable. I've gone ahead and tweaked the beaver hat model slightly. So it used to be that I felt like it was kind of sitting up a bit high. I kind of like where it sits now. I've gone ahead and actually moved the tail up as well. So whale. So I just think it looks a little bit better this way. I've also, as you can see, fixed the glitch where they sit too high. The rabbit hat doesn't sit too high either. And I've gone ahead and changed the squirrel tail on this hat to match what the actual squirrel model is right now. Our next change is to all of the tool textures. All of these have been tweaked ever so slightly just to better match the current existing vanilla ones. I think the ones you can notice the most are the axes here. This is a pretty significant change compared to what they used to look like, which was just like a really old version of the vanilla tools. You can now craft capacitors with glass panes. You could also use paper here. That used to be the only crafting recipe, but you should be able to use any glass pane, dyed or not, and you should also be able to get your capacitors here. Now, capacitors are used for the counter, if you are unaware. The counter basically just receives redstone pulses and will release a charge after second pulse, third pulse, or fifth pulse, depending on how many capacitors you put into it. I've also changed the skull scooper recipe to now require 5 wither skull fragments. It used to only require this one up here, and it also works interchangeably between piglin scrap and netherite scrap. It used to be that you had to use the same, but now you can interchange the two if you want. Speaking of piglin scrap, the piglin steel recipe is now shapeless. This is not it. There we go. So it used to be that you had to put it in this specific order, but now you can put it however you want. It always works, no problems. I've also doubled the magma shard burn time. It was 6 and now it is 12. So it'll burn up 12 of these lapis lazulis before moving on to the next one. I've also modified the redstone button recipe to make 9. It used to only make 1. This matches all the other wood types in the game and etc. Speaking of, I've also modified the nether wood button, pressure plate, and trap doors. That's both the crimson and the warped to match what the other woods are in the overworld. And palm planks, when you place them on the ground, no longer have any rotation. So you can see I can spam them away here and they all look the exact same. They used to have vanilla log rotation, which is just really weird. Cherry bark is now tagged as bark, so you can use it to craft paper. Before, this little crafting recipe didn't work, and maybe some other stuff, but this is the only thing I was aware of. And last but not least, I've also added matching cabinets and drawers for the remaining 8 wood types that didn't have them. Now all 15 wood types in my mod have cabinets and drawers. So you can see the bamboo over there, and then the cherry ones, the eucalyptus, maple, and willow. Those are of course my modded woods, along with palm all the way down here on my left at the very end. And then the two in between the willow and the palm are ghost, the dense ghost wood, and the damned wood. Those are my 2 nether woods, which, you know, I guess if these 2 nether woods have, oh, it's starting to rain. If these 2 nether woods have drawers and cabinets, then so should the crimson and the warped, shouldn't they? Keep an eye out for it. 1.0.5. And lastly, we have bug fixes, starting with our pink friend over here, which now drops feathers when I kill them and has a rare chance of dropping a flamingo wing. So we'll go one more. Yep, get a few more feathers, and you can see it is indeed working. You can also now craft hamster food using any of your basic seeds. It really doesn't matter what you got. They should all work as long as they're your simple non-sniffer type seeds. Our big elephant friends here will now only spawn out in the savannas if they have 2 tusks. It used to be that they could have a chance of spawning with either 1 tusk or no tusks. Now, whenever you find them in the wild, they will always have both their tusks. A very small bug that we actually fixed in the last overview video is that when you were in creative mode and you place the mounted buck trophy, it would actually remove it from your inventory, so it no longer does that if you are in creative mode. Another one we fixed last overview video is the duck eggs taking 2 instead of 1. I'm actually in creative mode right now, so if I go ahead and change to survival, you can see they only throw 1 at a time, which is another bug we fixed last overview video. Our hamster friends here are no longer mini nukes. You can go ahead and feed them, right click on them to your heart's content, get over here, get over here, and they are totally fine. You should then be able to, you know, right click on them, make them sit. Their sit animations still bug out a little bit, as you can see there. But other than that, they work pretty much just fine. They no longer crash your game. You can also now bone meal cucumber crops properly. So you can see I'm going to spam away at these bottom ones, and you'll see nothing breaks ever anytime. Now I'm going to spam away at the top ones for all I can, because believe it or not, they are coded a little bit differently depending on which one you click. So to make sure it's working, you always got to click on the top. And no, nothing ever broke. I've done that a bunch, and I've never had anything break since the changes. So I'd say it's good to go. Ducks and flamingos now fall at the same rate as chickens. So if I break this, you'll see all 3 of them fall at literally the exact same rate. until they hit the ground. And this next one's a little bit embarrassing, but the soul and piglin armor were not actually craftable because I forgot to include the smithing template in the crafting recipe. Oh, come on. Okay, so it looks like my soul recipes are working, but I need to check my piglin recipes. Okay, so I've identified the problem, which is that I accidentally clicked netherite ingot, so you'll see, yeah, it's just gonna probably pick one at random every time I place it in there. Maybe it'll always pick the piglin one. It's hard to say, because this one you can see goes to the helmet, this one goes to the armor, this one goes to the piglin armor, this one goes to the piglin armor, this one goes to the piglin armor. It's a problem, but it won't be a problem in 1.0.5. You can also now craft the table saw. It used to be that the blocks of iron here, they were tagged improperly, and this was uncraftable. And last but not least, you can also now craft these jams. I originally wanted them to require water, but for some reason I couldn't make them require just bottles of water, and I didn't want to use buckets, so I tried to have like potions, and it just wasn't craftable. You just couldn't do it, but now you can. I took that out, and it's just all sugar and blueberries or strawberry, depending on what type of jam you're making, as well as a jar, of course. And that is literally everything for this update. If you haven't seen it already, I highly recommend you start watching my Let's Play series where I'm playing through this mod. Wow, I fell from the top of the... Check that out. I didn't even mean to get an advancement. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Or you can check out my overview video, either the previous update or the full thing. It's about 2 hours long, the full thing, but it is totally worth it because this mod is huge. Thank you so much if you've made it this far. I think this video is going to be kind of quick. I'm recording it like literally the day this update released, but probably sit on it for about a week or so and then release it, but I might not. We shall see. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep working on that Let's Play, try to record what will be episode 3 with update 1.0.4, and until the next time, peace out. Love to see you. Thanks for watching.